Here is a review that you really need to have. Number 5, we have Funding Circle. Our score 8.9 over 10. So when you think about Funding Circle, I want you to think about a direct lender that specializes in small business loans. They have been doing this for the last 13 years, and they are doing a great job at it. What we love about Funding Circle is that they'll give you the cash real quick. Sometimes within 4 to 6 hours of a application. So when you send the application, so for instance, if you apply, let's say around 9 a.m. Pacific, by the afternoon, by 1 p.m. Pacific, you can actually be qualified. Okay, so this is really good. Funding Circle really they actually gave loan amounts that go from $25,000 to $500,000, so $500,000. But in our analysis, what we have found is that Funding Circle is great. It's better for established businesses. So if you have been in business for more than 2 years, you will love a Funding Circle. Okay. Now the minimum credit score is it goes from 600 to 660. In some cases, we have actually worked on deals where Funding Circle was able to approve same-day business loans, even though the applicants, like our clients, our business clients, had 590 or 585. So this is, it just means things happen on a case-by-case basis. Okay. By the way, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. We love having this kind of convos every now and then. Okay. So let me quickly walk you through the pros and cons of Funding Circle. So the pros: you have loans up to $500,000. You have funding in as little as 4 hours, but the average, it's like 16 hours to 48 hours, and there is no minimum annual revenue requirements. Okay, they not ask you to make 10 grand a month or 15 grand a month. This is pretty flexible. What about the cons? There is a one-time origination fee between 3.49% to 6.99% of the approved loan amount. So this is something that really is painful, but it is what it is. They got to eat too, right? Funding Circle have to eat. So they require 2 years in business minimum, and they're not available in Nevada. So if you are in that state, you are out of luck. But overall, this is a great company. They're really fantastic company. So Funding Circle, our score 8.9 over 10. Number 4, we have Credibly. Our score 9 over 10. So when you think about Credibly, you're looking at the same-day business lender, massive approval, very low doc. In some cases, you have minimal paperwork. This is fantastic. So it's great if you are, let's say you are a small to mid-sized business. Credibly will work for you. Okay, fantastic. And Credibly is kind of generous too when it comes to loan amounts. Check this out. They will approve you for loan amounts that go from $5,000 to $400,000. This is really good. Their APR, they're not really transparent on that APR. This is something we don't like with Credibly. They got to be more transparent. But Credibly, if you're listening to us, please pay attention to that. And so Credibly, actually, they have factor rates that go as low as a 1.11%. Okay, so it is what it is. So Credibly does a lot of things. They do merchant cash advances. That's why I spoke about the factor rates. They do lines of credit. They do working capital loans. They do same-day business loans. It's just fantastic. Okay, and I just want to quickly remind you of today's topic. What are we talking about here? We are speaking about the top 5 best same-day business loans. Easy approval, massive approval, low doc. Okay, fair credit, poor credit. You can be approved, not a problem. So here are the pros and cons of Credibly. The pros: you have flexible qualification requirements. So the conditions of qualifications are really less stringent than other lenders, and you can be approved in as little as 2 to 4 hours. So with Credibly, things can really be real fast. This is incredibly fantastic. Credibly is incredibly fantastic. I know you love the word game here, right? So you also have multiple loan options. It's just fantastic. What are the cons here? They do require a monthly average revenue of at least 10 grand to $15,000. Okay, and the interest rates may be a little high. That's why maybe they don't talk about it. So overall, when you think about Credibly, you have to think about a lender that's very fast. Okay, They want you to be in business for at least 6 months, and you need to have an average monthly revenue of at least $10,000 to $15,000. Okay, but pretty decent. So Credibly 9/10. Number 3, we have Blue Vine. Our score 9.5/10. When you think about Blue Vine, I want you to think about a lender that specializes mostly in business lines of credit. Sometimes they do business loans too, depending on your strategy, depending on your application. Okay, and it's just what we have seen is that it's a lot better if you want to qualify for a Blue Vine funding arrangement to also have a checking accounts with them, to have a business checking accounts with them. So this is really will help you a lot. This is something a lot of folks don't tell you. So again, hey, think about that. So with Blue Vines, you have loan amounts from $6,000 to $250,000, so $250,000. The APR can be as low as 6.2%. Minimum credit score 575 to 625. Okay, and the cool thing is that Blue Vine actually they do offer a lot of let's say when it comes to their loans or lines of credit, they have payment structures also. They have something called Flex 6 and Flex 12. Okay, so customers who choose the Flex 6, they make weekly payments over 26 weeks, while Flex 12 customers make monthly payments over 12 months. Okay, so this is something you really need to think about if this works with your liquidity strategy. Okay, so in addition, what we have found here is that after 45 days of payment on Flex 6 or 90 days of payments on Flex 12, you may be eligible for a credit line increase. So again, with the Blue Vine, you are looking at a lender that is really great for same-day flexible lines of credit, and in some cases business loans. Okay, what are the pros and cons of this player? Pros: you have to be in operation for at least 24 months to be eligible. You have lines of credit up to $250,000, and did you have a low credit score requirements? What about the cons? There is a monthly revenue condition that you have to meet, and they're not available for businesses in North and South Dakota, Puerto Rico, and U.S. territories. And Blue Vine is still working on having like a very solid app for their funding arrangements for their line of credit, and in some cases their loans, their business loans. Number 2, we have here OnDeck. Our score 9.6/10. When you think about OnDeck, I want you to think about a player, a lender that is really great for short-term loans. Okay, and we are speaking about same-day business loans, easy approval, but short-term. In other words, the repayment window is really short, so they're not giving you money for like 5 years or 7 years as regular banks will do, as traditional credit unions will do. You are looking at a lender that they want to get paid within 2 years. So if you're comfortable with that short repayment window, go with OnDeck. Loan amounts here $5,000 to $250,000. The APR will start at 29.99%. Okay, so that you can see that the APR is really high, but they are generous and they'll get you your cash real quick. Minimum credit score goes from 575 to 625. In some cases, they can actually lower the credit score minimum to 550 if you have if you have an overall strong business loan application. Okay, and what we love about OnDeck is that they are constantly innovating. They're constantly increasing the constellation of industries they serve. As of the date of this show, they do lend to over 700 industries. Think about that. Okay, I mean, there are some industries they don't serve, things like adults or gambling, like some of the little dodgy industries. I'm not saying dodgy in terms of the industry itself. I'm just saying that from a regulatory and legal standpoint, some industries are a little difficult for lenders to justify on their balance sheet. Okay, I want to quickly remind you again of today's topic. What are we talking about? We are speaking about the top 5 same-day business loans for easy approval, fair credit, poor credit, low doc. Okay, and so here are the pros and cons of OnDeck. Pros: you have term loans up to $250,000. They also have lines of credit up to $100,000. Okay, they do have same-day funding. You can get your cash within 4 hours or within 4 to 12 hours. And they do have a low minimum credit score requirements, as I said, 575 to 625, in some cases 550, depending on the solidity of your business loan application. Okay, what about the cons? Well, they have $100,000 minimum annual revenue requirement, so it could be a little high depending on your situation. You must have been operating for at least 1 year, so they do have this minimum business longevity requirements. And they don't lend to businesses in Nevada, North Dakota, or South Dakota. So it is what it is. If you are in those states, you are out of luck. Number one, the best of the best when it comes to same-day fast access business loans. Okay, easy approval. We have Balboa Capital. Our score 9.9 over 10. So when you hear the words Balboa Capital, I want you to think about equipment financing. I mean, they do offer a constellation of business loans, but really their forte is in equipment financing. So if you're a business right now and you want to buy a piece of equipment real quick and you want same day approval, you want to talk to Balboa Capital, okay? And so they have loan amounts that go from $5,000 to $500,000. And the APR is not disclosed though. I mean, Balboa needs to be more transparent on that front. And the minimum credit score here, 600 to 620, okay? And what we love about Balboa Capital is that you can actually you can apply in minutes. It takes about 5 minutes where you can apply, and if approved, you can receive your funds as soon as the same day, okay, as approval. So this is really cool. And what we love is that sometimes they actually will go from $500,000 to $1 million if you have the right sort of business loan application, in front of them. So this is kind of cool. This is really, really good. So here are the pros and cons of Balboa Capital. Pros: they do offer 30 minutes to 1 hour approval during regular business hours. They do have a variety of loan options, and they do offer competitive rates, even though they don't disclose their APRs in general. But based on our experience with them, we have actually worked on gazillions of deals with business clients on behalf of business clients, and we have talked to Balboa Capital directly, so we know how they roll, And so the cons here, the detriments: you must be in business for at least 1 year. And for some small business loans, they will require a minimum annual revenue requirements of $300,000. Now, this depends on the state you're in. It depends on the equipment you're trying to finance. It depends on the industry you're in also. But overall, they are very, very flexible. Okay, so Balboa Capital, our score 9.9 over 10. Another thing I want to mention real quick is that Balboa Capital, they actually love technology, so they want you to apply online, and they want you to really follow the process. But once you do that, you should get your cash real quick. Now, let me give you an overview of the best comparative analysis, the best comparative process when it comes to comparing same-day business loans, easy approval. The thing is, you can't just jump on the first loan application, the loan proposal that you receive, right? If you have an offer, if a lender tells you, hey, listen, you are pre-qualified for this loan, blah 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 blah. Don't just like, hey, I'm just going to get this loan because I need cash. I need emergency cash anyway. No. Take your time. You want to really analyze the situation and see, and you got to ask yourself, does this same-day business loan, easy approval, apply for my situation? Don't be tempted to actually get into additional debt if you don't need the money, okay? And you need to find a loan that meets your budget and borrowing needs. Those are really important. And you want to be in a situation where you are constantly reviewing each lender's application requirements. What are the conditions? What are they asking for? Do I qualify? Does my business qualify for this loan? Okay. Can I, if I don't meet the requirements, how quick can I meet them? Okay. What is the workload, monetarily speaking, operationally speaking, that I can do? I can actually do right now to qualify for this loan. Okay. And it's really important to take the time to review the lender's reputation and reviews. Okay. Go online and read about the lender. I know you want money. You need your cash. You need to finance your operation. So you're really jolly about getting the cash in the first place. But what if you were getting you are getting scammed? What if you are getting, a proposal from a dodgy business lender? Take the time to read about the business lender you are about to transact with, okay, and avoid fees whatever possible. So you have a constellation of fees. You know, sometimes you have administrative fees. You have draw fees for business loans or credit. You have some closing fees and whatnot. So be sure that you are really, really like those fees are needed. Okay. So if you want to get a SameDay business loan, determine your timeline. You need to check your credit score. Okay. We want to go back to what I said about comparing lenders. Those are really important. Those are important steps you need to make. Prepare documents. And once you're done with everything, submit a formal application. The last thing I want you to do here is that, and this is the bonus for you. Let's just go back to SameDay Business Loan 101. What is it really? It's important because, you hear terms. Sometimes they talk about emergency business loan, SameDay business loan, low doc, no doc, okay, easy approval. You have a cash flow business loan, cash business loan. What are those really? So let's have a clear idea about the definitions here. So a SameDay business loan is a type of financing that lets you as a business owner quickly access money to cover operating costs and other expenses. So you're not really waiting for like 1 year or 1 month to be approved. Okay. You're not waiting for 1 week to be approved. You can approve right away. So you can access your funds, because you have to understand there is one thing that like you can be approved today, but it can take like 1 week to receive the funds. But for a SameDay business loan approval, you are getting the funds right away. Okay. And so you want to, so you need to choose a SameDay business loan if you need to finance short-term cash flow issues, and if you are a startup with no credit history and you have limited financial records, and if you are a borrower who does not meet eligibility requirements for traditional loans, and if you are a business owner who actually needs cash quickly to take advantage of an opportunity. I mean, if you are in business, you know that opportunities come all the time. So sometimes when you see an opportunity and you don't have the required cash to actually take care of it, it just makes sense to apply for a SameDay business loan easy approval. That way you are increasing your chances of approval, but you also increasing your chances of succeeding in the very business application that you identified and that you are trying to seize based on your loan application. Okay, so this is really important. So when we talk about SameDay business loans, you do have a constellation of loans here. You have short-term loans, you have business lines of credit, yes, you have merchant cash advance, yes, you have invoice financing, yes, and you also have business credit cards. I mean, if you get approved for a business credit card, you're getting access to cash right away. Now, you cannot withdraw the cash, but you can make payments with that, okay? So SameDay financing is really, really important. It is here to stay. And if no matter what type of business you have, if you have an LLC, you have an S corporation, you have a C corporation, you could qualify for a SameDay business loan, not a problem. Okay. Now, the same does not apply for an SBA loan. SBA loan, you cannot apply for them and receive funding within 1 day, because there are restrictions that are imposed by the United States Small Business Administration. So here we have I would say some norms that are different. Thank you so much. Before we actually do a recap, please check out our loan evaluation approach video. We do have a strong method on this show when it comes to evaluating, categorizing, and listing SameDay business loans easy approval. So check this out. All right, let's do a quick recap here. Number 5, we have Balboa Capital. Our score, 9.9 over 10. Number 2, we have, not number 5 though, number 1. Number 1, Balboa Capital, 9.9 over 10. Number 2, we have OnDeck, 9.6 over 10. Number 3, we have Blue Vine, 9.5 over 10. Number 4, we have Credibly, 9 over 10. And number 5, last but not the least, we have Funding Circle, our score, 8.9 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.